Good afternoon and welcome to Fiscal TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jim Caselli. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the Fiscal Work Centers with Ajita Nemkar, and Mark Melnico will be here with Mark's Minutes. Over the past year, Fiscal has been rolling out a series of work centers to help users access specific and prioritize tasks and actions in a central location. The work centers offer a big boost to users doing their daily jobs. I'd like to welcome Ajita Nemkar to the show, where she's going to talk about work centers, and she'll also provide a demo about the PO Work Center. And I'd like to let you know, if you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to submit them at any time using the Q&A option. Ajita, thanks for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hi, Jim. Thank you for having me here. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Welcome back to Fiscal TV. Before we get going, why don't you let everybody know a little bit about your background?
Sure. I joined Fiscal in 2014, just after the Wave 2 implementation. And I supported modules like AM, LD, ARBI. And currently I'm supporting PO, PCAR, and contracts.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks for filling us in on that. Let's get right to it. What are the key ways the work centers help Fiscal users?
The page is role-based and configurable, offering users a consolidated view of various tasks, queries, and reports. The dashboards provides usually rich user experience with graphs, charts, tables, and more that displays summarized information in a quick view. Users can personalize and tailor their information by adding or removing links, reports, and queries. Users are benefited from this centralized intuitive navigation, allowing them to focus on the work at hand with a prioritized list.
That sounds terrific. And of course, the different modules are geared to help users in pretty much every task in Fiscal. Isn't that correct?
That's absolutely right. Approvers see requests waiting for approvals. Buyers gain quick access to frequently used queries, reports, and links to statewide purchasing policies. Similarly, AP processors can efficiently perform their daily tasks, such as creating vouchers, verifying budget check errors, etc. These dashboards, in short, offer one-stop transaction processing for the function at hand.
Okay, how did the Work Center come about? What was the idea that sparked it and brought it to life?
Well, the idea came from my Fiscal concept, developed by users themselves at Imagine Fiscal Workshop in Los Angeles. We started with releases of Worklist Work Center, GL Work Center modules, and now we have been adding them ever since.
And I know you're going to take us through the PO Work Center, but I'd like to let everyone know there are also work centers for GL, AP, AR, requisitions, asset management, and events. Tell us a little bit about the PO Work Center.
Well, in October, we released a PO Work Center for buyers to conveniently access and view their purchasing activities and alerts. The PO Work Center provides purchasing, receiving, and voucher activity information by buyer and at the departmental level. Data is quickly viewable as graphs on a dashboard and provides topic links to the buyer via My Work to have direct access to purchasing transactions. In addition, buyers will have access to frequently used links, reports, and queries.
Okay, and I know there's a job aid for that. You want to give us the number?
Absolutely. It's job aid Fiscal 466. You can access the job aid by clicking onto the job aid or FAQs link on Fiscal website. I can quickly go through the job aid and provide insight on PO Work Center.
That sounds great. But before we get to your demo, tell us a little bit more about the Work Center.
Sure. So there is another Requisition Work Center as well that was released in December. The Requisition Work Center is a central page from which requisition processor can efficiently view requisition information and directly access their requisition to perform their daily tasks. In addition, all other roles that have access to the requisition will also be able to access the work center to view department requisition data. Data is quickly viewable as graphs, just like the Work Center, on a dashboard and provide links for direct access to requisition transactions, as well as frequently used links, reports, and queries. And the job aid for the Requisition Work Center is Fiscal 475.
Okay, so first, let's take a look at your demo again. But again, what I want to let everybody know, if you have any questions for Ajita, please use the Q&A module there, and we'll get to those after the presentation. So let's look at your demo.
Hi everyone. As we just spoke about the Purchase Order Work Center, let me quickly walk you through this supplemental job aid, which provides the detailed insight on how to navigate through Purchase Order Work Center. So let's go ahead and start. So the department buyer, department advance buyer, DTS buyer, and PO buyer will have access to this Purchase Order Work Center. The Purchase Order Work Center is a central page from which buyers can efficiently view PO information and directly access the POs to perform their daily tasks. Access to all links are available in the PO Work Center, and they are based on each individual's user access. In addition, all other roles that have access to the PO will also be able to access the Work Center to view departmental data related to the POs. The PO Work Center consists of My Work, links, queries, and reports or processes. Now let's go and see how to access the Purchase Order Work Center. So when you log in, you have to go ahead and click on My Work Center style. Once you click on that, the Purchase Order Work Center tile will be displayed. You can go ahead and click on the Purchase Work Order Work Center. Once you click on that, the Purchase Order dashboard is displayed, and that is the landing page for the PO Work Center, containing the transactional graphs specific to the individual buyer. The graph data is driven by the fiscal year entered at the top of the page. Otherwise, all financial year transactions are displayed. So if you want to see a different transaction, different fiscal year, you can go ahead and enter fiscal year and click on search, and the graphs will be displayed for that financial year. To navigate further into Purchase Order Work Center, the column to the left of the Purchase Work Order Center dashboard consists of 4 sections with additional categories, links within each section. These sections are My Work, links, queries, reports, or processes. My Work section is comprised of 3 categories: My Pending Activities, Buyer Alerts, and Department Pending Activities. In addition, within each category, there are links to the pages of commonly searched for information. The data on these pages is specific to each buyer. If a link is grayed out, there are no POs in that category. The number in the page heading indicates the number of transactions the PO buyer has that meets the criteria. As you can see here, under My Work, My Pending Activities, the denied POs is grayed out. That indicates that this particular buyer does not have any denied POs. The search functionality is the same for all pages throughout the Work Center. The system searches for the word or selected value and will display any PO that has that value contained in the field. For example, searching for goods in acquisition type will result in POs with acquisition types of non-IT goods and IT goods. The advanced search button will give the buyer additional search fields, including line description or car reportable. All search results can be downloaded to an Excel file by clicking the Download Excel icon. Now let's talk more about My Pending Activities. My Pending Activities provides the buyer with their transaction count by PO status and immediate access to those POs. It helps buyers to quickly identify POs that may have been denied or cannot be vouchered, as they have not been received. The table below provides a description of each page within the section. Now let's go ahead and talk about buyer alerts. The buyer alerts provide access to POs that need immediate assistance, as they are on hold, have been modified by another buyer, or have been sitting unapproved for 5 days or more. The table below provides a description of each page within the section. Department Pending Activities. The Departmental Pending Activities provides access to POs in budget error or not dispatched CalPIA POs. It identifies requisition within lines yet to be sourced to a PO and unreconciled P-card purchases. The table below provides a description of each page within the section. Now let's go ahead and talk about the links. The links section is comprised of 3 categories: purchase orders, suppliers or bidders, and important links. Within each category are links to the pages of commonly searched for information within Fiscal and external websites. Purchase orders. The purchase orders category contains links to frequently used purchasing pages. These links allow the user direct access to the pages without having them to navigate using their main menu navigation. As you can see below, these links include add and update POs, review change history, buyer's workbench, reopen POs, skipper search, manage requisitions, purchase orders inquiry, activity summary, document status, mask closed and cancelled transaction, dispatch POs. Additionally, there are 3 new pages. That is view current approvers, change order history, and manage POs. The details of the new pages are provided below. The view current approvers page will display the approval path of all the POs through the dispatch status. It includes the approver name and the date and the time of approval and the number of days the PO has gone unapproved. To search for approval historical data, select the appropriate PO status, for example, complete and other search values. So you can enter any of the search parameters and you can click on search in order to view the data for this purchase orders. The change order history page displays all your current POs in which a change order has been performed. This search results display the most recent changes, whom made the update, the reason code, and the date time change. To view more information about the changes performed, click the PO ID and view the change order details on the View Approvals page. The Manage PO page. It will display all your POs through dispatch in this one central area, and PO's budget status displays within the search results. Now let's talk about suppliers or bidders. The suppliers or bidders category gives the user direct access to the pages pertaining to supplier and certification information. The links include view certification details, add or update supplier, supplier update request form, maintain bidder, search vendor bidder, and public search. Now, finally, let's talk about the important links under the links section. The important links connect the user to important internal pages and external websites for easier transacting. These links include Query Viewer, Budget Details, My Profile, LPA Department Contract Search, DGS website, Cali Procure website, Job Aids, Help, PO Work Center dashboard, and PO Department Work Center dashboard. Please note that the PO Department Work Center dashboard gives the user access to view PO information at a departmental level. Furthermore, let's talk about the queries. The queries section gives the user direct access to the frequently used PO queries. You can see various queries included under these PO queries. Once you click on the query, you can directly navigate to the query and you can run that query by entering the appropriate search criteria. Let's talk about the reports and processes. The reports and processes section gives the user access to frequently used purchasing reports. This section is broken down into 3 categories: purchase order reports, car reporting, and monitor. Within each category, there are direct links to various purchasing reports. Let's talk about the purchase order reports. The purchase order reports category includes direct links to the following frequently used purchasing reports: receipt delivery, contract activities report, PO listing, PO detail listing by PO date, receiver summary report, receiver ship to detail report, contract expiration, requisition to PO XREF report, and PO activity. Now let's talk about the car reporting. The car reporting category gives the user direct access to the car forms. The monitor category gives user direct access to their process monitor and report manager pages. So this concludes our job aid for Purchase Order Work Center. If you have any questions, please reach out to Fiscal Service Center, or you can go ahead and type in the questions in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajita. Thanks very much for that presentation. Want to remind people that that job aid is 466. I believe that's what you said, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and we do have some questions. So the first question is, will there be presentations from Fiscal TV for the modules that were mentioned earlier? And I can answer you that one. Yes, there will be. We plan on doing that in the future with the other Work Center modules. And Ajita, here's a question. It says, on my PO dashboard, I do not see any information. And then it says I'm working at an accounting office. I don't know if that's enough of a question for you to answer, but apparently there's no information showing up on the dashboard. Is that something you can address?
Not immediately, Jim, but I would request user to contact Fiscal Service Center, and this might be related to access issue.
Okay.
So Fiscal Service Center will be able to navigate them to a proper team who can help them.
Okay, that sounds good. So to the viewer who submitted that question, we will definitely get you an answer and get back to you on that. Looks like that's all the questions we have right now, Ajita. So thanks very much for all the information on Work Center. I know Fiscal will continue updating Work Center modules to help users streamline many of their tasks. And again, for detailed instructions on how to use Work Center, users can access job aids, as we just went through, at ServiceNow, and users must be logged into PeopleSoft to view the job aids. And remember, Work Center is secure and maintains security, and access is limited to users' roles. A Work Center administrator can add new queries and links, making the tool highly configurable. So Ajita, thank you so much again for being with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim. Likewise.
Okay. And now it's time for Mark's Minutes. As most of you know that tune in every month, we have Mark Melnico from Fiscal's External Affairs Office in a segment that, like I just said, we call Mark's Minutes. Mark keeps us up to date on all things Fiscal. So I'd like to welcome you to the show, Mark. How are you doing today?
Hello, Jim. I'm doing fine. And hello to all the users out there. I want to start off with some good news that we have for departments. You are gaining additional time to submit your year-end financial reports to the State Controller's Office for all funds. The revised deadlines were announced in a recent budget letter from the State Department of Finance. Finance continues to provide assistance and year-end training for departments using Fiscal. The DOF website has details. Departments should work with their finance, accounting, analyst manager, and Fiscal relations coordinator to make arrangements for additional support to meet the year-end deadlines. Jim, are you muted, Jim? Because I can't hear you.
No, I'm good here, Mark. I'm sorry, I just lost my spot there. So, of course, that's great news. And I understand you've got some information about budgeting for the upcoming fiscal year as well.
Yes, Fiscal is preparing for the 21-22 fiscal year, which actually is starting in just over 2 months from now. So as part of this preparation, Fiscal requests that departments review their current PeopleSoft departmental budget structures to determine if any modifications are required. If changes are needed, please submit a request to the Fiscal Service Center by Friday, May 7th, for an appointment with a Fiscal subject matter expert. Appointments will be scheduled between Monday, May 10th and Friday, May 21st. After meeting with Fiscal experts and identifying modifications, departments will submit an operating budget template along with a configuration modification request form to the FSC. If your department has no changes, then no action is necessary.
Okay, that sounds good. And I believe you also want to remind users one more time about a recent release.
Yeah, many users are aware that functionality for cash validation and cash validation appropriation control, which we sort of affectionately we call CV/CVAC at Fiscal, was activated last month for departments in Fiscal. This is a major piece of functionality affecting a lot of users. When transacting in Fiscal, CV/CVAC now automatically validates that there is sufficient fund cash and appropriation authority to complete a transaction. The CV/CVAC budget check raises exceptions in Fiscal under either of two circumstances. The first is that insufficient fund cash or appropriation authority is present. Second one is that if no budgets, even for $0, exist in Fiscal for CV/CVAC ledgers. Fiscal Job Aid 461 explains this functionality, and there is a lot of related information available in ServiceNow and on the Fiscal YouTube channel. I know there was a lot of outreach on this release, Jim, so there's plenty of information out there for users. So that's all of the news I've got for today, Jim.
Mark, thanks very much. As always, we appreciate the news. Before we let Mark go, I'd like to let all of our viewers know that unfortunately for us and for you, this is Mark's last Mark's Minutes as he has decided to retire. Speaking for everybody at Fiscal TV, we'd like to congratulate you, Mark, let you know what a pleasure it's been to be working with you. Thank you for everything that you've contributed to the show. I know you're going to be missed quite a bit, and I certainly will miss all the interactions we've had. So from all of us at Fiscal TV, congratulations, and we sure hope you have a great retirement.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate that. Certainly the thing I'm going to miss, likewise, will be the people here. And, you know, we've been operating virtually for more than a year now, but I think despite that, I feel really a strong connection with my teams, with all the people I work closest with. I will say that Fiscal has a lot of talented people, a lot of really smart people, and so I will miss that interaction. And I'll also just say that I think Fiscal TV has shown itself to be a really valuable resource, and I see that going on to, you know, much greater successes going forward. So I want to wish you and our teams well, and system users all the best as well.
Thanks very much, Mark. I know, like I said, we're all going to miss you, and but we're happy for you, so have a good one. And we'd like to thank you again for joining us today. I'd also like to thank Ajita Nemkar for being here and talking to us about WorkCenter. And yes, we will be having more WorkCenter episodes here in the future, so make sure and look forward to those. Again, thank you for joining us. As always, you can watch this episode and all of the episodes of Fiscal TV on our YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody that works here at Fiscal TV for putting on a great show again today. And if you have any ideas that you would like to see on Fiscal TV, you can always take our survey that we have at the end of the show. We send out emails requesting information, and you can always talk to your relations coordinator if you have any ideas or something that you would like to see. So thanks again for joining us today. I'm Jim Caselli. Thanks for watching Fiscal TV.